Hello and welcome to today's video. We are here for, what is it, Stage 4? Stage 4, Week 1 of the Overwatch League Power Ranking. So, we're already here, stage number 4. It's kind of crazy. We've been doing Power Rankings for a while this season, but this stage, a very, very interesting start. Power Rankings are very difficult to do for the first week, though, just because there's so many, teams are either 0-2, 1-1, or 2-0. It's really hard to just be definitively this team's good, this team's bad, this one's okay. So the first week is definitely a interesting power ranking week. Especially I don't really watch as many games. I watch some on Wednesday and some on Friday, but so I try to piece it together based on map differential, really. Or not map differential, but the maps themselves and what the teams ran when I seen them play, all that stuff. So we'll try to do that. But yeah, let's peep Twitter real quick before we start. So I tweeted that Stage 4 Overwatch League started out quite interesting. Looking forward to recording the Power Rankings video. So if you guys do not follow on Twitter, again, make sure you do. I use Twitter all the time. So yeah, make sure you go follow on Twitter. But this stage brought a lot of changes. The meta really did change. I know there's been less things talked about during the whole league. I never talked about the last power ranking video for the end of Stage 3. Brigitte in the meta. And because they're using the patch 1.22 that doesn't have the Hanzo changes. And is Hanzo the only one that doesn't have changes? I believe so. I may be wrong, but let's see if we can find patch notes to know exactly what the patch is. But I'm pretty sure 2.22. The only thing that's not on it is Hanzo. Because let's see. These are patch notes. Alright, so it looks like they're using I think patch 2.23 has all the changes to a lot of the characters. Because Brigitte Shield Bash, Genji's Deflect, Hanzo's Storm Bow, Junkrat's projectile size is smaller, Lucia's Wall Ride, and Tracer's Pulse on doing less damage. I believe all of those are patch 2.23. Because 2.2 had Brigitte. Or 2.2 was actually I don't even know. 2.2 I think was Brigitte's changes. And the micro missiles doing less damage for D.Va. And Moira's orbs and all that stuff. So I think that was, yeah, because that's Reaper when it came with Speedy Boy. So that's the last patch. D.Va's stuff getting nerfed a little bit, and Reaper being a Speedy Boy. So it's not the most recent changes in the game. So that's the thing. The meta is not entirely up to what's on comp because of Hanzo's Storm Bow and all that stuff being the game. Storm Arrows, that's what it is, not Storm Bow. Storm Arrows, which are still super toxic and way overpowered. And lunge ability, so neither one of those are in it. Now my question is, are they going to change the patch or go to the next patch for the finals, or are they going to go with this patch all the way to the end? All the way to the championship? I'm not really sure. Either way, that's not really what we're here for, but the changes were crazy. Seeing there's a lot more Zarya in the league, a lot less Tracer, because Brigitte can really just destroy a Tracer. More Reinhardt as well, more Reinhardt play. So you really seen a lot of the changes. You didn't necessarily just see a Tracer D.Va, because that's really the most common one. But with Brigitte coming in, now D.Va was just a side effect of Brigitte coming in. Because D.Va and Brigitte don't really have a thing where they go and one counters the other, but it's more the off-tank player that plays D.Va can just play Zarya. So that's really the change. So you're going to see less Tracer and D.Va because they just play... the D.Va player will go into Zarya. Your Winston... Actually, you'll see less Winston as well because they'll go play Reinhardt. So you see Reinhardt Zarya instead of Winston D.Va. And then you'll see less Tracer just because Brigitte just counters Tracer really hard. But that also brings in more Pharah because Pharah can just destroy the shields. So the two shield characters. Actually, the three with Orisa, but again, Orisa's not really in it as much. So, again, just those two, especially Reinhardt and Brigida. They just can't do anything but far. Alright, so now to get into the thing, though. We talked about patch notes for 5 minutes. The stage, coming in here, number 12, is the number 12 team in the standings. I tried to just change it a little bit from the standings, based on how I think their power rankings are, but for the most part, you'll see them be the same. So, the biggest mover, though, is Dallas Fuel. They were ranked 12th, and they're not anymore. Alright, now I'm not saying they're going to be up, but I'm just saying for this week, they are. Alright, so, the Florida Mayhem are number 12. They are 0-2 in the stage. They are 0-7-1, also in the stage on maps, differential of -7. In the league overall, Florida Mayhem is 11th. They are 6-26. They're 35, 93-5 on maps, differential of -58. Again, the power rankings only affect stage 4. So everything that's happened in the first 2 stages, out the window. That's why Florida Mayhem is the worst ranked team right now. This week, Florida first took on New York Excelsior, where they didn't manage to tie a map. So, New York took Kings Row. They tied on Hanamura. And then New York took Oasis and Watchpoint Gibraltar. So, that was the first match. Later for Florida. On Saturday, they took on Philadelphia, losing Blizzard World, Horizon, Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Dorado. So there's a different map pool here. Definitely in stage number 4. See a lot of Horizon, Lunar Colony is back. That's one of the best maps in the game, honestly. I know a lot of people don't like Horizon. They really want it to be changed, but honestly, I like it. I like it, guys. Alright, so next up here on our power rankings, in the 11th spot, is not the Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai's normally in 11th, but this week it's the London Spitfire. That is right. The Shanghai Dragons are ahead of an all-Korean roster. Mind blown. Alright, so London Spitfire are 0-2 in the stage. They are 1-7, differential of -6. Now, in the overall standings, London Spitfire are 3rd. They are 20-12, with a map differential 85, or map win-to-loss and tie ratio of 85, 53, and 1. Their map differential is 32. This week, London Spitfire, they played against the Houston Outlaws and lost 4-0. So Houston took Kings Row, which is one of the maps back into the map pool. Horizon Lunar Colony, again back in the map pool. Lijiang Tower, again also back in. And Watchpoint Gibraltar. So all maps that are back in the map pool that were not in it in the previous stage. So then, after London got 4 by them, they took on the New York Excelsior. Again, this is supposed to be a great matchup. It's New York and London. 2 all-Korean teams. Expect them to be great, best rosters. And London lost 3-1. On Kings Row, also Hanamura, which is another map that's back in the map pool. London took Lijiang Tower, but then lost Dorado. Again, Dorado, another map back in the map pool. I know Blizzard World is still in it. I don't know. I don't know what else is the map pool. They should just have a thing that says, like, map pool. So I can know. Let's see. Let's see if I can find this. Stage 4, Overwatch League, map. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Map pool. This website will tell me. Alright, so they have Blizzard World, Kings Row, Hanamura, Horizon, Lijiang Tower, Oasis. So the only one that's back, I think, from the previous stage is actually Blizzard World. And then Oasis was the tiebreaker map, but now it's just in the regular pool. And then Nepal is the tiebreaker map. Alright, so yeah, so let's see. Stage 3, Blizzard World is the only one that's... And again, Nepal was the control map, but now it is a... Or was the control map, but now it's just a tiebreaker map. So control is always tiebreaker. I have 68 emails. Oh my god. Alright, we have to get back on track here. Or we're going to have another, like, 12-hour thing. All right, coming in number 10. I'm like, how are they 9? Oh, they're tied for... All right, so coming in number 10 in our power rankings is the 9th ranked, because they're tied with another team, London Spitfire. They are 0-2. They're 6-2 on maps. Differential of -4. And as you guys know in the league, the Shanghai Dragons are 0-32. Their map differential is 19, 111-1. The differential of -92. So they're going to have a negative map differential of probably 100 going into next week. So they're the first team to lose 100 maps. But also this week, New York was the first team to win 100 maps. Alright, so this week for the Shanghai Dragons, they didn't get 4 out. They did play against Dallas Fuel. Again, similar to Stage 1. People were like, alright, Shanghai here. They got it against Dallas. It's the one team they can beat. Did not happen. People thought, especially in Stage 4, that it was most likely the best chance for Shanghai to get the first win of the season, with Effect not playing for Dallas as he's gone back to Korea, because he's like, yeet, I'm not dealing with this. I don't actually know why he went back to Korea. I'm sure that's probably why. But Effect went back to Korea. And, yeah, so that people thought Dallas is going to lose. But Dallas didn't. Alright, so Shanghai won on Kings Row, but then lose Hanamura, Oasis, and Dorado, giving Dallas Fuel their first win since beating Shanghai last time. Then Dallas Fuel took on the Los Angeles... Oh, no, we're not looking at Dallas Fuel. We're looking at Shanghai Dragons. The Shanghai Dragons took on the Los Angeles Valiant, losing on Kings Row, Hanamura, and Oasis, giving the win to the Valiant, but then winning on Blitz World. What? They won 3 on Blitz World. Damn, the Valiant didn't even take a bit at that point. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yikes. Yikes. No, Gibraltar's a trash map, but... Okay. Okay. So next on our power rankings. Number 9 on our power rankings. Team that's 8th overall in the Overwatch League this stage. The Seoul Dynasty. Seoul Dynasty are 0-2. They are 3-6 on maps. And they have a differential of -3. Yikes. Dallas Fuel, not Dallas Fuel. Shanghai, not Shanghai. Seoul Dynasty played really bad this week. I was sad. Now, Seoul had a good shot to beat the Valiant, but they didn't. So they could easily have been 1-1. They almost beat the Valiant. Then they got destroyed by San Francisco. Alright, so Seoul Dynasty is 6th overall in the league now. Remember they were 4th last time? Yeah. They are now 2nd in the Pacific Division. They have a shot to not make the playoffs if Houston keeps up their mean ways. So, Seoul Dynasty. They're 19-13. They're 75, 59, and 3. Differential of 16. So, this week the Seoul Dynasty dominated the Valiant on Blizzard World, and I'm just like, oh boy, this is great. Like, they're about to be gone if they keep playing like they played on Blizzard World. Apparently there was still water that was in my beard. I went like that. There's water all over my computer. Dope. So the way they played on Blizzard World, it was looking like they got this. So they were destroyed on Blizzard World. They went to Horizon Lunar Colony where they never lost until then. And the Valiant never won. Now Seoul Dynasty, I think their issue there was Regio and just not knowing how to necessarily attack the point as a tank, as the main tank. And that's the struggle, because Horizon is a map that is very hard to get to the first choke point, because there's just one way. You can try to go through the tunnels, but everybody sets up at the top and just fires down. So the Valiant took that. The Valiant took Lijiang Tower. Again, they didn't really show any way that they could do that. Then went to Gibraltar. Made a great push. And then lost on Nepal. Giving the Valiant the win. I was very sad by that loss. The next match against San Francisco. So the thing was they destroyed on Blizzard World and then played Horizon, and everybody thought, they're gonna be up. Oh, they're gonna be up 2-0. They got this, but dropping Horizon was the thing. So the next time they went to Blizzard World against San Francisco and lost Blizzard World, even though they had a great attack against Valiant, they just got destroyed. Blizzard World was not good for them. Horizon, the map they only lost once on, against the team that never won on Horizon, and guess what? They lost Horizon. All right, on to Oasis. Seoul Dynasty won that, but they went to Watchpoint Gibraltar where they lost. The Seoul Dynasty is down 0-2. It is looking like there's a potential for the Seoul Dynasty to not make the playoffs. I would be so sad if Seoul Dynasty didn't make the playoffs. And I think it'd be a shock to everybody if you told them at the beginning of the season, hey, Seoul Dynasty's not going to make the playoffs. Seoul's the team that came in and expected them to win. They're the all-Korean team representing Korea. They got to win, right? No. Yeah. All right. Well, that one made me sad. All right, number 8, we have the Dallas Fuel. All right, the Dallas Fuel are 1-1. They're 3-5. Map differential of -2. All right, that did not transition as well as I wanted it to. I do apologize. All right, the Dallas Fuel are 10th overall in the league. They're 7-25. Differential, or their maps are 39, 88, and 6. The differential of -49. Looking here what Dallas did this week. We know they played against Shanghai Dragons, losing Kings Row and then winning Hanamura, Oasis, and Dorado. Again, a match everybody thought Dallas Fuel was going to lose. Dallas Fuel then did go play against Los Angeles Gladiators, actually, where they lost on Blizzard World, Hanamura, Oasis, and Dorado. So, Dallas Fuel, though, got to win. That's the only reason why they're really up there. By the end of the stage, they probably will fall back down to, I don't know, 10th, 11th, because I don't see Spitfire and Seoul being that far down. Spitfire and Seoul probably move back up to like 5 or 6, and then Dallas and Shanghai and Florida will be at the bottom in the battle for who's last. Alright, coming in next in our power rankings is the Boston Uprising. Now, we didn't actually talk about the stage playoffs, but I was so excited when Boston lost the stage playoffs. I don't know if I was more excited that New York won because they're my second favorite team, or if I was more excited that Boston lost. Probably both. It's good to see a New York team go up against the undefeated team and then win in the end. It's a great time. Great time. Super Bowl throwbacks. Yeah, that was a great time. Super Bowl where the Patriots were undefeated and lost to the Giants. That was a great time. So the same thing happened here. Now, Boston is 0-2, but I put them above Dallas because we all know Dallas is going to get one win all stage. Now, Boston, I don't remember what game it was, but no, it was the second game they played, and the announcer said that once you lose after being on a big win streak, you sort of just reconsider everything, and that's definitely looking like what Boston's doing. Again, their coach went to go coach San Francisco. So they lost their coach. They're probably, after losing to New York, they're probably like really sad. I'm really disappointed. So they're probably just like, yikes. So that's definitely a thing that I feel like they're struggling with, but I definitely feel like you will see Boston move back up. So that's why I put them above Dallas. Now, again, they are 0-2. They are 2-6. Overall differential of 4. And I believe Boston was the team that we did rank first in our power rankings at the end of... No, actually, it was New York. I did have New York ranked first going into the final week. So, Boston in the league is second overall. They're 22-10 with a differential of, or maps, they're 81, 58, and 1. And they are 23 plus for the map differential. So, there's really no way that they're going to beat New York unless New York loses every game out. Because New York would then be... Actually, I think New York's locked out the first seed. If they lost out, they'd have to lose 8. Okay, so they are... If Boston wins that, New York loses out. That's the only way that Boston will win the whole league. Basically, if New York wins one match next week, they're guaranteed in. No, wait, because... Yeah, because then... If New York loses out, they'd be 11, right? Yeah, they'd be 11. But if they end up tied, if New York lost 10 games in a row or 7, whatever, it's basically locked up for New York. Let's put it that way. So Boston is there. So Boston this week, they played against Philadelphia Fusion. I thought Boston had this game won. I thought Boston was going to be 0-2 this week. Honestly, looking at the week, looking at the schedule, I thought Boston's got this. Boston did win on Kings Row against Philadelphia. Then they lost Hanamura, lost Legion Tower, lost Dorado, and I was happy. That was the first loss that they had, regular season loss, not counting the stage playoffs, since March. The 14-game win streak was over. Next, the Boston Uprising took on the Houston Outlaws. Houston took Kings Row and Hanamura. Boston took Oasis, which Boston had a lot of practice on because they went to so many map 5s in the last stage. And then Houston won on Gibraltar. Watch point, Gibraltar. I was on this watch point to kill myself, which I always say when we load to watch point, Gibraltar. Alright, coming in next in 6th is the Houston Outlaws. Now they are tied for first this stage with Philadelphia and the Gladiators. All those teams are 0-2. I mean, they're 2-0. Wrong one. 7-1 differential of 6. But as you guys know, Houston always gets ranked down low because they're just not good. Houston Outlaws, to me, are just the most hyped up, most overrated team in the league. And honestly, I feel like they would be so much better if they played Fact Fiction, honestly. The dude just has better stats, but everybody loves Muma, so they got to play him. Just, that's how I feel. Everybody hypes that dude up way too much. I know he was the player of the match for, like, his Winston play where he got 3 kills in a Graviton Surge. Dope, fam. But either way, without putting my opinion about what player is better on their team, I just feel like all their players on their whole roster is overrated. If you're hyped up for playing Junkrat, like Jake is, stop. Just stop. If that's your thing that you're good at, is Junkrat, I mean, Junkrat has an impact. But if you're hyped up for playing Junkrat, come on, fam. And the fact that they had to have a meta where Tracer is not necessary to do good is just mind-blowing. That you can be that bad as a team that you need a character whose impact has been in the meta for so long to be a good team. It's just mind-blowing. You need a new character to be introduced to be good. And that's why Houston is ranked 6th. Okay? Houston, to me, when people figure out how to beat their Junkrat or their Jake Rat, or whatever they call it, and whatever else they do, when people start figuring out how to beat Brigitte, beat Junkrat in the meta, they're done. They're going back down. So, anyways, Houston this week, 4 over the London Spitfire. Not a surprise. Houston has been destroying London since the first stage. That was the first team London lost to. They lost them every single time they play. So Houston 4-0 against London, winning on Kings Row, Horizon, Legion, and Gibraltar. So, they then went on to take on the Boston Uprising, a match that I thought Boston was going to win. Again, as I said before, Boston's going to beat Philadelphia. I feel like Boston was going to beat Houston. I've looked at the previous stage. But obviously it did not happen. So, they lost on, or Boston lost on. You know what, we're going to say Houston won. Houston won on Kings Row, Hanamura, losing Oasis, and then winning Gibraltar, as we just said moments ago. So, again, Houston, are you really that good? Are you really that good, fam? I don't know. Alright, coming in number 5 is the San Francisco Shock. They are 1-1 on the stage. They are 4-4 on maps, so they either 4-0'd or they didn't. It's not actually what happened. I think they won 3-1 both the times. Or they won 3-1 and lost 3-1. I believe that's what actually happened. Yes, it is. So the San Francisco Shock played against the Los Angeles Gladiators to open up stage number 4. So the first time we've seen Brigitte, the first time we've seen any of the new changes from the patch 1.22 was this game right here. And the Gladiators won against San Francisco, winning on Blizzard World. No, San Francisco lost. We're talking about San Francisco. I just always go to what team's winning or what team's... All right, reconsider. Reconsider your life. All right. San Francisco lost on Blizzard World, lost on Horizon, lost on Lijiang, and won on Gibraltar. Then took on Seoul Dynasty. I would have thought San Francisco was going to be 0-2 this week, but they got a surprise win against Seoul, winning Blizzard World, winning Horizon, which we did say when we were talking about Seoul, that Horizon was a match that San Francisco had never won. Seoul did come back and win on Gibraltar. Nope, on Oasis, that map. And then on Gibraltar, they won. So, what is this? This is the playoffs. Oh, it explains the playoffs. I don't need you to explain it. I just want to click what it said. I just want to see who's going to say who's in it. All right. Oh, we didn't say what San Francisco or Houston were in the season. So Houston is 18-14, 79-60-1, differential of 19. San Francisco is 13-19. They are 58-72-3, differential of 14. Now I feel like the top 8 teams have a shot. Well, New York's going to be in. Boston's in. We'll just put them in. London, Los Angeles Valiant, Philadelphia Fusion, Seoul Dynasty, Houston Outlaws, and Los Angeles Gladiators are all teams that are fighting. There are 6 teams fighting for 4 spots, basically. Right now it's London, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Seoul, but Houston and Los Angeles, 2, are right there. So, because the thing is, between London and the Gladiators, there are 2 matches. So, yeah. But then San Francisco goes down. They're 13-19. The Gladiators are 18-14. So, the chances of the Shock really getting in are basically gone. But they're definitely a Season 2 team. That's really what they're built for. They're going to make a run that season. All right, coming in number 4, the Los Angeles Gladiators. They are also tied for first with Houston and Philadelphia in the stage right now. They are 2-0. They're each 7-1 on maps, and they have a differential of 6 along with Philadelphia and Houston. So the Gladiators, we just talked about them a moment ago being one of those teams that are in contention. The Gladiators are 18-14. They are 73-62-2. Differential of 11. And this week, we just talked about them playing against the San Francisco Shock. Are you serious? That was like on that one, but I didn't go to it. All right. So the Gladiators won Blizzard World, Horizon, and Lijiang, and then dropped Gibraltar. And then they 4-0 the Dallas Fuel, winning Blizzard World, Hanamar, Oasis, and Dorado. So they really needed all those maps to make that push towards the playoffs that they're trying to make. The best teams to take out for them, Seoul and Houston. So, coming up next, Los Angeles Valiant. They are 3rd in our power rankings. And they are 5th overall. They are 2-0. They are 6-3, differential of 3. And they are 4th overall in the standings. They are now the number 1 team in the Pacific Division with their win over the Seoul Dynasty. They're 20-12, 78-54-5, differential of 24. So as we just said, Los Angeles Valiant beat Seoul Dynasty. Seoul winning Blizzard World, Los Angeles winning Horizon and Gibraltar. Seoul, no, they won Horizon and Lijiang. Seoul winning Gibraltar, going to a map 5, playing Nepal. First time we said Nepal, I think, all the time, actually. I don't think there's any other map 5s besides this one, this week. But Seoul went to the map 5 against the Valiant, and the Valiant came out victorious, winning on Nepal. Were there any other map 5s? No, that was the only map 5. That's the only time we're going to say Nepal. Because all the other ones were either 3-1 or 4-0. Or 3-0, actually. We do have one of those. Florida and New York. Alright, so then the Valiant went and played Shanghai, where they won the first 3 matches, locking up the series. They won Kings Row, Hanamar, and Oasis. And then dropping Gibraltar to Shanghai. Shanghai pushed the whole way through Gibraltar, apparently. The Valiant didn't even push at the first point, which is... how? The first point is the easiest point to push through. Against Shanghai? Boy, what? Okay. But again, it might have also been we don't really care because... why do we care? Wait a second, get this win and get out. Map differential doesn't matter, though. Alright, coming number 2 on our power ranks is the Philadelphia Fusion. They are 2-0. They're 7-1. They're 7-1 on maps, of course. They have a differential of 6. So, like I said, just ranking the top 6 teams is hard, especially when the top 6 teams in standings: Philadelphia, Houston, Los Angeles Gladiators, New York, Los Angeles Falcons, and San Francisco Shock. It's really hard to rank them. New York, is just going to be better by the end. Philadelphia, Houston, and Gladiators all are tied at 1 because they all have the same map differential. New York tied a map, which we'll talk about in a minute. So that's why they're 4th. The Valiant, they just dropped 3 maps. So that's the thing. They dropped 2 to Seoul, 1 to Shanghai. So that's the thing. Then San Francisco, they played really, really well against Seoul. And again, if you take out one of those top teams, which I guess shouldn't be a thing going into the Final 1, taking out one of those 3 all-Korean teams, considering 2 of them are pretty bad right now. But it's kind of just one of the rankings that I just used the whole time and just sort of said, we'll go with it. Also, these sponsors on this Kevin Harvick shirt, you're welcome. Not that anybody's going to watch that far. But either way, yeah. So Philadelphia is top here. I'm not really sure why they're put first. Is it because they're city? No. That'd be last. Maybe it's not over, but I don't know. It's just the order they put them in, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Philadelphia is 20-12. They're 78, 63, and 1. Maps differential of 15. Let's beat the Philadelphia Fusion, who only dropped 1 map. They played against Boston Uprising first, dropping Kings Row, then winning Hanamura, Lijiang, and Dorado. Then they went to take on the Florida Mayhem. Again, a team easily beatable. If you have Florida, Dallas, or Shanghai, you don't beat one of those teams, you got a problem. Unless it's those 2 teams playing each other, then it's really whoever plays. But anyways, Philadelphia winning Blizzard World, Horizon, Oasis. I'm like, boy, that's Oasis. And then Dorado. Yeah, so that's them. The last team, though, is ranked first here. He lost, not the Los Angeles Valiant. The number 1 ranked team in our power rankings is the New York Excelsior. Wow, we're surprised. New York, woo, clap it up. They are 2-0. They're 6-1-1, and they are differential of 5. Now, the reason I put them first is because of New York, and we know they're going to be the best team by the end of the stage. Wasn't really matter. I did give them. They probably should have been first because they tied a map with Florida Mayhem, but who really cares? At this point, New York should just be ranked first for like ever. New York Excelsior, they are 29-3. They have won their 100th map when they played against Florida, but they are the first team to surpass 100 map wins. They are 104, 31-3. Oh my god. The next closest team to dropping maps, it looks to me, is the London Spitfire, who dropped 53 maps. Yeah, because they have the second best map differential. 53. So, their New York is 104, 31, and 3. Their differential is 73. Okay, so New York's differential is 73. Okay, London's differential is 32. Followed by the Valiant's differential of 24. And then Boston's differential of 23. Houston's differential of 19. Seoul's differential of 16. Philadelphia's differential of 15. There's a differential of 11. Those are all the positive differentials. Then you get a negative is San Francisco, Dallas, Florida, and Shanghai. Again, San Francisco's a team on the rise, but the first stage and a half really just like pushed them down. So that's the reason why they're there. But their differential is only negative 14. They can claw that back. They might be able to get a positive differential by the end. Anyways, as you guys know, the New York Excelsior are just god tier team. The Florida Mayhem they went and they tied on Hanamura, but again, those maps are easy to tie on. It's no matter what, Hanamura is one of the hardest maps to play, so you can't really hold it against them for tying on that map, even though they tie against a relatively bad team. Kings Row, they won, tying again Hanamura, but Hanamura, I don't know if it was the first or second point that they, whoever was on attack second, couldn't break, or whoever couldn't break it. If it's the second point, definitely understandable to tie in that. Second point, Hanamura, you can easily just like waste away 6 minutes trying to attack it. But then they went on to win Oasis and Gibraltar. Then New York went on to play against London, which I did talk about at the beginning of this now 35-minute long video. London, New York is supposed to be such a great match. I know I said 2 weeks ago this is going to be a great matchup. Really wasn't. New York won Kings Row, won Hanamura. Now Hanamura, again, I said it's a really hard match to play. They won it 1-0. They lost on Lijiang, but then won on Dorado. Again, Hanamura is just such a hard map to play. The second point is just, I don't know what makes it hard. It just is. There's really like, I think the issue is that people expect the attacks from the top because the middle's so hard to do that you can just like stop all the attacks. Because the top attack, like anywhere around the top bit or the bottom side, people just expect you're going to be there. It's just the thing. But you take that middle bit, and it's just so hard to break that middle point because there's just a bridge that everybody has to cross. I don't know. Hanamura is just one of those maps that's just hard to break. Anyways, that is our power rankings for the week. I hope everybody has enjoyed, but we are going to look ahead to the Stage 4 Week 2 matchups. What are some key matchups here? And the first one that I see right away on Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, the Houston Outlaws and Los Angeles Gladiators. That's going to be a good matchup because if we look at the standings right now, the overall standings, Houston and the Gladiators are tied. They're both 18 and 14. If Houston wins, they will actually jump up to that 6th spot in the standings. The Gladiators win, they will also, they'll jump up to 7th, but they will need help from whoever plays against Seoul Dynasty. Again, this matters because there's only 4 weeks left till we get to the actual league playoffs. The playoffs and the thing, not the stage playoffs, the actual playoffs that matter. That's what we're going to be looking at. We're not looking at the stage playoffs. It doesn't matter as much. Of course, we're going to look at the standings, but we're going to do so much with that. So that's the thing. So that's the key matchup. Houston wins, they can jump ahead of Seoul, which is a key week because Seoul has some big matches that we'll talk about in a moment. Gladiators need this win more than Houston, though. Because if they don't win it, their map differential is not nearly as good. Their differential is 11, Seoul's is 16, Houston is 19. So they're going to definitely need to win this map. So the Gladiators are probably going to throw everything in preparing for that. Especially when the Gladiators are playing the Florida Mayhem the next day. Now, the next matchup that we're going to point out here is on Thursday at 11 p.m. Philadelphia Fusion and Shanghai Dragons. You guys are probably wondering, really? You're telling me that a match with Shanghai Dragons is going to be good? Yes. You guys remember, everybody always says that Shanghai's best bet to win a match is against the Dallas Fuel. But if you guys remember, a couple of weeks back, in both Stage 2 and in Stage 3, the best chance that Shanghai actually had to win was against the Philadelphia Fusion when they took them to a map 5 2 different times. So, if you want to see Shanghai maybe get their first win, that's a match to watch. Philadelphia and Shanghai. Later up in the week, on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Boston Uprising and Los Angeles Valiant. That's a good one. Boston trying to get their first win. Valiant trying to stay undefeated in the stage. But then the big game pops up. The New York Excelsior playing the Seoul Dynasty at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys know me watching that one. Your boy a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous late this week for Seoul Dynasty. They got to prepare for New York and London. So let's see. Can we figure out what maps they're playing? We can. They're playing Kings Row, Horizon Lunar Colony, Lijiang Tower, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. That's going to be kind of wild. So that's one to watch. Now, another one to watch. Friday's got a bunch of good games. San Francisco Shock and Houston Outlaws. San Francisco seemed to be going up on the climb, but so is Houston. And Houston, again, needs this win, especially if they lose to the Gladiators. They're definitely need this win against San Francisco. So watch out for that game. San Francisco is a team that can win. They beat Houston. That's going to really shake up the playoffs and the competition down at the bottom. And then on Saturday, 4 p.m., another matchup I will definitely be watching, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Seoul Dynasty and London Spitfire. Now, these two teams that Seoul's playing, New York and London, Seoul's going to beat either one of those teams. To beat all the other teams, did not beat London and New York. And they came close last time they played at the end of stage number 3 to beating London. So, if Seoul's going to pick up a win this week, it's most likely against London. New York just destroyed them last time they played. But that's difficult. That's a difficult turnaround. Less than 24 hours you got to play against New York and London because they're playing 9 p.m. on Friday, 4 p.m. against Eastern Time against London. But that's really what good matches this week. Houston, Gladiators, Fusion and Dragons, Valiant and Uprising, Excelsior and Dynasty, Shock and Outlaws, and Dynasty and Spitfire. This one here is 41 minutes. We did spend a lot of time at the beginning talking about the meta changes of that. That was about 5 minutes of the video. I try to keep these about 30 minutes, but sometimes they just go a little bit longer. We talked about meta. We talked about map pool. But again, Stage 4 is here. It's definitely an interesting looking stage, to say the least. I'm interested to see which teams can win, which teams are going to move up in the stage. And again, this stage really, really has that impact on the stage overall, the stage playoffs. That's like one thing here. So, New York this week, definitely going to beat Seoul. And the reason for that is the other team they got to play against is Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai, New York's just going to crush. And they're going to have all their 100 practice versus Seoul. So Seoul, it's not looking good. They can easily be. Oh my god. They definitely had to get that win against San Francisco. Anyways, I've invested a lot into liking Seoul Dynasty, and yeah, looking forward to season 2. I believe they can make a run here at the end of the playoffs. I know you guys don't probably really care about my love of Seoul Dynasty. Oh, let's see what Seoul's playing against London. We'll talk about that. Now, the good thing for Seoul is they only have to practice 5 maps. Because they play Kings Row, Lijiang, and Watchpoint against both teams. But they play Hanamura against London. They play Horizon against the Excelsior. So, with that, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week. Next Sunday, we'll be looking at the next stage. And we're going to see which one of these teams or the next week, and we're going to see which one of these teams is really moved up in the stands. It's definitely going to be more interesting once we get to week number 2. A little bit 4 games, so we can really start to see which teams are good, which teams are bad, how far is Dallas going to drop down, and also how far is Houston going to drop down, because I'm not keeping either one of them up that high in the power rankings. But we'll see. Will any teams stay undefeated heading into the next week? We'll find out then. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.